The greatest 2K build of all time. That's a high title, I know, but what else do you call a build that gets a 94 driving dunk, allowing you to absolutely demolish your opponents in the paint, gets a 91 steal and 85 perimeter defense, so you can turn defensive possessions into even more overpowered offense, gets an 82 vertical rating, so you can absolutely jump out the gym in every situation, and on top of all that, gets extremely high playmaking and shooting attributes, allowing you to absolutely torch defenders on the perimeter. Season 6 just started, and we might have already found the greatest build of all time. And don't worry, I'm not only gonna give you the build, I'm gonna give you the jump shot, the dribble moves, the badges, everything you need to know to dominate with this build on day one. All I ask for in return is that you check and make sure that you're subbed with notifications on. If you are, then I got news for you. You're a real one. So comment down below Simply Squad to flex that you're an OG, and if you're not, make sure to drop a like and drop a sub with notifications on to join the squad. Now y'all, as y'all know, builds cost money, and if we're gonna talk about money, then we gotta talk about the fact that this video is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $1 million of Underdog credits split up among users all across the country, and all you need is a verified account to be eligible. Yeah, you heard that right. Do not miss out on your chance to get rich and sign up for Underdog using code grinding today, because if you do, not only will you be entered in this insane giveaway, Underdog will also double your first deposit up to $100. Now the $1 million giveaway is on Monday, but do not wait to sign up for Underdog, because this weekend they have a special going on where if Jokic scores 1 point or more, you can win big. So click the link in the description right now, because it'll automatically put code grinding in for you when you sign up for Underdog. Alright y'all, now for the build. You can go right or left-handed, it doesn't matter, I like to go right. And this build can be a point guard or a shooting guard depending on if you want to be the primary ball handler. I run point guard for my team, so I'm going to keep it at point guard. The height is going to be 6'6". The weight is going to be the lowest weight, which is 180 pounds. And the wingspan is going to be a massive 7-foot wingspan, which not only allows you to be a defensive threat as much as you are an offensive threat, but also is going to allow you to get insane contact dunks. Now I want to say this off rip, if you're a person who heavily relies on T-Mac base for your jump shot, you're going to want to lower your wingspan so you can get a high enough 3-point to unlock that base. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of T-Mac. I understand it's the best jump shot in the game, specifically for getting greens on heavily contests, but for me, timing it wide open, I like the jump shot that I use on this build, which I will show you at the end. But I wanted to give y'all that warning so you know to lower your wingspan if you really need T-Mac jump shot. And now for the build, the first thing we're going to start with is the insane contact dunks, and to do that, we're going to get a massive 94 driving dunk rating. And what that's going to do for you once we're done with the build is give you access to nearly every contact dunk animation in the entire game. Y'all seen how crazy it gets in the clips. I'm telling y'all, you're going to be catching bodies every time you step in that paint. And then after that, we're just going to leave finishing alone. We already get Giant Slayer on gold with the 74 driving layup, so there's nothing else we're going to need for a 6'6" point guard or shooting guard build. Now for the shooting, don't worry, just because your finishing's elite doesn't mean you can't shoot. You're going to go with an 86 3-point rating, which of course is for Silver Agent 3, as well as all these other shooting badges that you unlock, most importantly being Bronze Limitless Range and Silver Blinder. And then after that, we're going to leave shooting alone for now, but we're going to come back to it later at the end of the build when I'm talking about the options you have with your remaining attribute points. But more importantly, we got to talk about the ball handling. The ball handling rating is going to be an 86 ball handle. In past builds, I kind of overspent attribute points on ball handle to get Hall of Fame ankle breaker. I still think that badge is insanely overpowered even in April, but to be completely honest with you, I've had a 93 ball handle on pretty much every single build I've made this year. It's getting a little repetitive, so instead I'm trading out those extra ball handling attributes that don't unlock any animations for me that I use. They only unlock Hall of Fame ankle breaker, and I'm replacing it with stats in other areas. After that, we're going 75 speed with ball. That is the minimum amount of speed with ball you want on a 6'6" build to be extremely quick while you're dribbling. And then the most controversial part of every single build I make, we are going to go a 65 pass accuracy. I've told y'all this a million times now, and there's always someone that never believes me. I have tested every pass accuracy on this game, whether it's 92 pass accuracy for break starter, 89 pass accuracy for gold dimer, or 60 and 70 pass accuracy to find a baseline that I like. 70 pass accuracy has always worked for me. 89 pass accuracy, the passes felt a little faster, but it wasn't so much of a difference that it felt worth it to invest all these attribute points. 92 pass accuracy, accuracy, I feel like is trolling on anything other than a center build for outlet passes, and 60 pass accuracy felt just a little bit too slow. Not on every pass, but occasionally it would be like the ball is floating in the air. So now I truly believe that 65 pass accuracy is the sweet spot for getting reliable quick passes. Now before you go in the comments and just call this a trash build, at the end of the build you can change whatever stat you want and put more points in your pass accuracy if you're really nervous about your passes. But I'm straight up telling you that you will not need more than a 65 pass accuracy unless you are playing competitive pro. If you're playing rec, 2s, 3s, and obviously the 1v1 court, you will not need any more than this. But again, you can change it at the end of the build. And speaking of the end of the build, let's get there because you're gonna realize how insane this build really is. Our perimeter defense is gonna be an 85 overall rating. Our steal is gonna one-up that and is gonna be a 91 overall rating for gold glove, gold interceptor, and gold right stick gripper. If y'all played NBA 2K24 from the start, y'all know that steals are still overpowered. Even after all the patches, after everything, they are still ridiculously overpowered. If anybody does any type of size up move and you time the steal correctly, with gold glove, you are getting it every single time. After that, we're gonna make our block a 68 overall rating. And for our interior defense, the sweet spot to stop backdoor cuts consistently is a 50 overall rating. Now you may be asking, Grindin, why'd you go with 68 block? And one thing that I've realized over time is not having a block rating and not having chase down on bronze feels really bad on the 2s court, because if anybody ever gets a step on you, which isn't going to happen often, you have a high perimeter defense and a high steal, but if you ever misplay and they do get a step on you, it feels really bad knowing that you can't chase down and get that block. So I find that investing the 68 attribute points on a point guard build, it doesn't really take that much and is a super good investment for your gameplay and your mental health, because now you actually have a chance when people get past you. And finally, last but not least, the physicals. We're gonna go an 81 speed and a 73 acceleration, just the bare minimums, which of course give you silver speed boosters, silver hyperdrive, and silver blow by, as well as the defensive badge silver fast feet, which will help you stay in front of people. Our strength, we're gonna go a 50 strength to get silver clamps. A lot of people miss out on this badge. Me personally, I love having clamps on silver or above. It's just something I've always loved to do. And then probably the craziest part of this build is you're gonna have an 82 vertical and then a 99 stamina. The 82 vertical, of course, you lock in your gold posterizer and your gold area wizard, but at the same time you unlock all those contact dunk animations that we were talking about in the beginning. I'm gonna show y'all when I show y'all my animations and my jump shot and everything. But with an 82 vertical, you get a ton of contact dunk animations that your player will reach into his bag and pull out every time you do a stick meter dunk. And last but not least, we're gonna go back to our shooting with our last attribute point, and we're just gonna up our mid-range to a 74 and then up our free throw 1 point. With Steph Curry free throw, it is ridiculously easy to green with a free throw. Even if you have like a 30 free throw rating, it's just a super easy timing. And I just added more points in my mid-range, so my mid-range is more consistent when I do decide to do a pull-up midi. In scenarios where they run me off the 3-point line and they have a center sitting in the paint, I still have the option to pull up and green a midi with silver midi magician. Now this right here is the final build. 94 driving dunks, so every time they force you off the 3-point line, they have to be scared that their center or their back end is going to get absolutely put in the rim. An 86 3-point rating, you're going to be able to knock down from deep, you have limitless range. 86 ball handle, you're dribbling just like every other 6'6" in the game. Y'all have seen it, the dribble moves are insane on these builds. 91 steal and 85 perimeter defense. Probably my favorite part of the build is that you're just as good defensively as you are offensively. I know that's big for some of y'all, especially if you don't play with teammates. You want to be able to impact the game on both ends of the floor to increase your chances of winning, and at the same time you're just absolutely jumping out the gym. Now again, if you have a problem with the pass accuracy, if you truly believe you would need at least a 70 pass accuracy to make the passes you want to make, just make a choice on what you're willing to give up. But I will say, if you decide to lower the driving dunk, even though I think 94 driving dunk is just super overpowered this year, if you do decide to lower the driving dunk, just remember that you need to lower your vertical as well to a 75, because if you go lower than a 94 driving dunk, there's no point to have an 82 vertical. So if you go any lower than 94, make sure you make your vertical a 75, and then you can up your pass accuracy as much as you want. But anyways, y'all, this is the build I'm going with. I know for a fact that 65 pass accuracy works. I average like 25 assists in the rec every single time I play it, because people see the creator logo above my name and just absolutely double team me. So trust me, I know what it's like to pass. It works perfectly fine. And the build name you end up with is Inside Out Score, which reminds me a lot of 2K23 6'9". If you remember, those were called Inside Out Scores a lot of the time. Not my favorite build name, honestly, but I've never been a person who really cared about my build name. I think it would be a lot better if it said two-way Inside Out Score, because that more accurately reflects what we're about, since we're a defensive player as well. But they're not wrong that we can absolutely dunk on somebody and drain the 3 at the same time, so I'm not mad at it. And now for the dribble moves. Every single dribble move here is an 86 ball handle or lower. The only one that's even close to passing the rating is Kemba Walker's skate move, which is an 86 exactly, so you could put on every single one of these. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. You can screenshot this or pause the video and you could just get them all down real quick. But these are the dribble moves I like to use when I run on every 6'6". The only thing I had to change about this 6'6" is the Kobe Bryant crossover, and he's an 88 ball handle, so I just put on Lonzo Ball. I don't even use the moving crossover really, so that didn't affect me at all. But everything else is 86 or lower, so you should have no problems whatsoever. And finally, the jump shot. The jump shot I go with is base JT Thor, release 1 Oscar Robertson, release 2 Michael Carter Williams, 100% release speed, and the blending is 64% Oscar Robertson, 36% Michael Carter Williams. This was actually my very first good custom jump shot in NBA 2K24, and it has succeeded in the test of time where it hasn't fallen off the entire year. I absolutely love this jump shot, and I personally believe it's easier to time than T-Mac is. T-Mac is just better at shooting contested jump shots. Anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it. You know, I had to flex the boot camp win. Y'all know I've won like a ton of events. Let me see how many unlimited boosts I have. Yeah, I have unlimited layup and dunk boosts and unlimited ball handling and passing, but that's only because I won 4 events and they doubled the rewards twice. Like, I won the top 5 event, the league event, boot camp, and I won one other one. I forget what it was, but they just overlap rewards. If they did different rewards for each one, I'd have 4 unlimited boosts in different categories. I got the clothes to prove it. Y'all know me. But anyways, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoy this build and maybe you can win some events of your own. Get top 10, go crazy, get your boost. But regardless, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.
Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots while they steady be taunting. Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling. Still hitting shots.